All right. We were talking about Mario calling in last hour, complaining about the Utica UPD Facebook page, saying that he feels it should be taken down. Now, there's an issue that happened over the weekend. It was taken down. We're going to hear from an attorney. Her name is Rebecca Whitman, who has a problem. It was actually, she says, her client, according to Mario anyway, her client that was involved in this incident on Facebook over the weekend. That drew into a conversation that Mario says, now Mario's just a local guy from New Hartford who, I would call him a libertarian that really, really fights for the downtrodden, fighting for the people. And he says he's been working with an out-of-town attorney to sue the UPD into taking down the Facebook page. He says it's bad for the area. It shouldn't be there. Meanwhile, Mario...
That's what I disagree with.
Okay, well, so explain to me, because I had said you are never on the right side of the constitutional argument.
That's not true. I agree that all comments on a police Facebook page must be kept up, no matter how despicable or disgusting or offensive.
So if somebody started throwing out the N-word, or
I think it's disgusting.
The T word in describing a Muslim, or
Horrible.
One of these terrible things, you say it should stay up.
I think it's terrible, but again, it's the freedom of speech issue. It should stay up. On the what I disagree with is that the Facebook page needs to come down. Mario's objective is to get the Facebook page down, and that's where I disagree. I think if you live in a neighborhood, especially now I'm a father, the notification that a sex offender is moving into the neighborhood, I think that's a good thing. I think these arrests, when someone's arrested and charged, I don't think there's anything wrong with putting their picture up there and announcing the allegations against them. That's what I'm saying.
So the point, but don't you feel that Mario has the constitutional right to fight for something that he believes in, to take it down?
I can think he's wrong.
You absolutely can.
I can think he's wrong.
Yeah. So, we're on the same page here.
The constitutional end, I called you Hobika during the break because Hobika was on my case.
We're in strong
the
agreement because I forgot what the issue was, but you were way off in left field.
I wasn't. It was the Second Amendment.
You were off in left field.
No, I wasn't.
What was the amendment?
It was the Second
Amendment.
Amendment.
Are we going to fight about this? I'm loving it. Let's go.
It was about the Second Amendment, and it was about, I believe.
This really sticks in your mind.
Hobika had said, because I did not fare well. I was not properly prepared, and I did not fare well in our discussion.
You were blank slapped.
I was.
Yeah.
So it was about a 3-day waiting period to get a gun, and I don't think if you have to wait 3 days, that violates your rights. It was a larger discussion about semi-automatics.
I remember that being the issue, but
that was one of the issues. Whether or not legislation should be put into place to try to prevent.
Well, I think that's already been decided. The Supreme Court has already ruled that there can be a waiting period that is not a violation of the Second Amendment rights.
Typically, it's 24 hours. This particular legislator was talking about 3 days, I believe.
But I don't think that wasn't the argument with Hobika.
It was part of the discussion.
It was a part of it, but it was a key issue that involved. See, the difficulty that we have. It's like an all or nothing thing. You're right. I think you've come around, to be honest with you. Okay. And I'll tell you what.
I was around. I think you've come around.
No,
I've been around.
I've always been pretty firm on this topic. But the fact is, you either can take it down because UPD as a community, as a city, a municipality, that they could ask for it to come down because they feel this does not send a good image for the community, and that is their choice. But what is unique about, or they can leave it up, but everything should be left up. And if you look to the federal Facebook pages, which are very successful, the reason they haven't, they meet the constitutional test is because they leave everything up. As horrific as it is, racist, bigoted as it is, they leave everything up. And what this attorney that is going around the country fighting in the name of, I think this is making fun of people and it's wrong for us to do as Americans. And that's really where Mario is. This attorney is going around and he's found a little bit of a glitch here, a little bit of an opening to find a way to take these websites down, because what happens is when UPD, so a comment was made over the weekend, which Whitman is going to talk about later on in the hour. When UPD saw that, they're like, oh, here's a former officer ripping into this little kid. That's a terrible thing. We're going to take that down. Well, technically, who gets to decide what stays up and what comes down? And someone like Mario is saying, I don't want the government to be able to have that editorial ability. So you're either going to leave it, because that editorial decision might be a post that rips on a certain police officer who did something,
right,
or rips on the mayor, or rips on. So the administration gets to determine what stays up and what comes down in a taxpayer-funded Facebook page. So for that, I completely understand. So you got to have it all in or all out. So that means if you take any post down, that's a free speech issue.
One more twist.
Okay.
Is it possible that the poster, maybe someone reached out to him and said, "Come on, man, you're a former cop. Don't put stuff like." What if he was the one who deleted it?
Could very well be.
Do we know
have.
it was for sure Utica police who took it down?
I don't think we do know that. But I do know that because we've had Lieutenant Houck in here before and saying that, we've taken things down, the racist comments, the things like that. We don't want that to be what this site is. The problem is legally what this attorney is coming out and saying is can't have it both ways. Even you said that earlier.
You're right.
You got to have it all one way or the other. That's what free speech is about. And you can't give the government the ability to have editorial power, because that no longer becomes free speech on a website or a Facebook page that is funded by the municipality. So interesting topic, and we'll talk to Rebecca Whitman on it coming up in a second. Do you think the page should stay up or should it come down? Or because one thing that I will tell you, for those that like to keep it up, they say it does solve crimes. It allows police to be able to arrest people who they believe should be arrested, and then they get their due process.